Hello everyone, my name is Alana B. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. You American Pickers fans are pleading with the History Channel to bring in a particular past guest to take Frank Fritz's place. Ratings plummeted after Frank was fired from the show. It was obvious that the show's vibe was lacking without Frank. However, they have at least one person in mind who they could put up with in his place if he is unable to return. Find out which former guests fans would like to take Frank's place by reading on. We want to start by talking about the speculation that Frank Fritz might return to the program. Fans haven't seen Frank on American Pickers since March 2020. Frank took a break from the show shortly after his final appearance in order to recuperate from back surgery. After having a stroke, he appeared to struggle to come back in front of the camera. The History Channel chose to remove him from the program less than a year later. Off-camera, Frank appeared to be at odds with Mike Wolfe, his longtime partner and former close friend. Although it's uncertain, some have theorized that the feud may have contributed to his termination from the show. Regretfully, it appears that the History Channel chose the wrong side to support, because Frank's release caused ratings to plummet. This week, rumors started to circulate that Frank might return to the show. On American Pickers' official History Channel social media pages, they have been sharing videos of Frank from the past. Although the network has not yet acknowledged anything, many have conjectured that it is an indication they intend to bring Frank back. Fans have moved on to prior guests that they would accept as Frank Fritz's replacement because his future with the show is uncertain. Fans have recently started requesting that Pat Regis, who owns an antique store, be selected by the network to take Frank's position. He has made several appearances on the show. He is a natural choice to replace Frank because of his engaging personality and informed manner. On Wednesday night's broadcast, he returned, reinforcing calls for Pat to be chosen by the show's producers. In addition to being an expert in his field, he also has a good rapport with Mike. Fans of American Pickers are hoping for an easy friendship because that type of on-screen connection is uncommon. Would you like to see Frank Fritz return to American Pickers? Or would you be okay with Pat Regis replacing him on a permanent basis? Post your thoughts in the comments section and watch the History Channel's American Pickers. American Pickers fans want past guest to replace Frank Fritz, but is this the right move? Could this past guest be the one to replace Frank Fritz on American Pickers? Fans are begging for it. Ever since Frank Fritz left American Pickers, fans have been waiting for the perfect replacement to fill the void left by his departure. The show, which had become a fan favorite because of its unique blend of treasure hunting and the undeniable chemistry between Mike Wolfe and Frank, suddenly felt different without its quirky co-host. While Mike Wolfe has soldiered on as the lead picker, the question on everyone's lips is, who could possibly replace Frank Fritz? Well, hold onto your hats, because fans of American Pickers have come up with a surprising and highly controversial suggestion. According to the buzz on social media, many diehard fans are pushing for one particular past guest to step in and replace Frank Fritz on the show, and they're not holding back about it. Could this be the shakeup that the show desperately needs? Is this guest truly the right fit, or is it just wishful thinking? The Frank Fritz void. Who could ever replace him? Let's face it, Frank Fritz and Mike Wolfe had something truly special. Their partnership on American Pickers was a huge part of the show's charm. The two had an easy rapport, a deep knowledge of antiques, and a shared passion for picking that translated well on screen. So when Frank's departure due to health reasons was announced, it left fans with a big question: who could possibly fill his shoes? Since Frank left the show, Mike Wolfe has been running the show with a rotating cast of guest hosts, but none of them have really hit the mark. Fans have been vocal about how much they miss the classic dynamic between Mike and Frank. American Pickers just doesn't feel the same without the banter and camaraderie they once shared. It's clear that the chemistry between the hosts is a key element in what made the show so beloved. But as time passes, fans are starting to accept that Frank may not be returning anytime soon. So the big question remains, who is worthy enough to replace him? The shocking suggestion. Fans want this past guest things get wild. Fans have recently begun flooding social media platforms with a bold suggestion. They want none other than Jody, the guest picker, to replace Frank Fritz on American Pickers. Yes, you read that right. The guest picker, who appeared on the show during the season 18 episode titled Gotta Be Frank, has quickly become a fan favorite. So much that fans are now actively campaigning for her to become the permanent co-host. But why Jody? What makes her the ideal candidate to replace Frank? What makes Jody the perfect candidate to fill Frank's shoes? If you're wondering why fans are so eager to see Jody as a permanent fixture on American Pickers, let's break it down. Unmatched knowledge of antiques and picking. One of the most significant factors that endeared Jody to fans was her extensive knowledge of antiques and vintage items. In her episode, Jody displayed an impressive understanding of historical artifacts and rare collectibles, which instantly drew comparisons to Frank's expertise. Much like Frank, Jody knows her stuff, and it's clear that she has the passion for the job. Incredible chemistry with Mike Wolfe. During her appearance, Jody's chemistry with Mike Wolfe was undeniable. Fans were quick to note how effortlessly they worked together, bantering back and forth like old friends. Her wit, charm, and no-nonsense attitude made her a natural addition to the show. Mike's interactions with her felt more organic than with some of the other guest pickers. Could this be a sign of a lasting partnership? Personality and charisma. Let's face it, American Pickers needs a personality that can not only hold their own, but also bring something fresh to the table. Jody's confidence and lively energy made her an instant fan favorite. She's fun, engaging, and has that perfect balance of seriousness when it comes to picking and lighthearted humor when the moment calls for it. In other words, she has the it factor. Fans want a change. Many viewers have expressed dissatisfaction with some of the guest hosts who've appeared on the show since Frank's departure. Whether it's a lack of chemistry with Mike, a different style of picking, or simply a mismatch in personality, fans have made it clear that they're not loving the new direction. Jody, however, has earned rave reviews from the fan base, with many praising her for bringing something new and exciting to the table without taking away from the spirit of the show. The backlash. Is Jody really the right fit? Not everyone is on board with the idea of Jody replacing Frank. Some fans believe that no one can truly replace Frank's irreplaceable charm, and they argue that American Pickers should just continue as it is, with Mike Wolfe leading the charge and keeping the guest picker format. These fans feel that putting another permanent co-host in Frank's position would fundamentally change the essence of the show, potentially ruining the magic. Others argue that American Pickers has always been about finding unique and rare treasures, and adding a new permanent host could potentially distract from that focus. They fear that the show might shift from being a genuine exploration of history to a more scripted, personality-driven reality series. Could Jody actually make it? The big question. So what are the chances that Jody will actually replace Frank as the permanent co-host? While no official announcements have been made, the growing fan support for her is hard to ignore. As more and more fans weigh in on social media and continue to push for Jody's inclusion, it's possible that the producers of American Pickers might just listen. However, there are still a lot of factors to consider. Jody's one-time guest appearance is just that, a guest appearance. She may have great chemistry with Mike and a passion for picking, but does she have the staying power to keep American Pickers going for years to come? Can she handle the grueling schedule and pressure that comes with being a permanent host? Only time will tell. What would it mean for American Pickers to step in as a permanent fixture on American Pickers? It would mark a bold new chapter for the show. Fans would be thrilled to see a familiar face with such a strong connection to the antiques world, and it could inject some much-needed energy into the series. On the other hand, the shift could alienate longtime fans who are still holding out hope for Frank's return. With the show's future uncertain, only time will tell whether Jody can truly fill the giant shoes left behind by Frank Fritz. The final verdict: will Jody replace Frank Fritz? For now, the question remains open. Fans of American Pickers are excited about the prospect of Jody replacing Frank Fritz, but it's not a done deal yet. Whether or not the producers will make this bold move remains to be seen. One thing is for sure: if Jody does take over as co-host, the future of American Pickers could look very different and a whole lot more interesting. Stay tuned as this drama unfolds. Could Jody be the new face of American Pickers? Only time will tell, but fans are sure ready for a change. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, American Pickers 24, and stay with us.